Happy Sunday, guys. I'm late here. I'm sorry. This usually comes out at 9, way behind the 8 ball this weekend. Okay, so this is the Sunday Social Security Roundup for the videos and tips that went out from the March 18. Well, actually, March 17 was last week's Social Security Roundup for the prior week, right? And then March 18th, which would have been Monday, we had, let's see. Oh, in what instances would you, as a SSDI, which is Social Security Disability Insurance, if you're a beneficiary of that, when might you also be filing for SSI? And there are instances when you possibly would want to do that. That was Monday the 18th. Tuesday the 19th. This was information for giggers and the IRS and tax time. Giggers meaning anyone self-employed, really, as well as those that are self-employed in the manner of being a gigger. So that was Tuesday. Accidentally, another thing came out on Tuesday that wasn't supposed to happen. Well, maybe it was. It was our announcement about, I'm like, why is there two? I think there's a different day two came out accidentally. So looks like on Tuesday also, it was a brief announcement about the new membership options one may have. Nothing changes with the channel, but there are some membership options for people who want to support the channel and the mission that we have with regard to at least 5 underrepresented sets of claimants that can't seem to find representation, and how we want to do our part to improve that. And the benefits that being a member would give you. And mostly that has to do with more direct assistance or information from me on a one-on-one basis at various levels. So feel free to check that out. And by the way, if you press the join button, that will give you the descriptions of the different, I think there's 3 options. On the 20th, so what would that be, Wednesday? Oh yeah, this is when 2 things came out accidentally. Sorry. I don't know how that scheduling happened. This was a discussion about work accommodations. When they're looking at your past relevant work, that's the stuff over the last 15 years. And you ended up getting an accommodated job because maybe your job recognized you were injured and they gave you a work accommodation, which, generally they're often required to do under some of the other laws in the country. If that work accommodated job is now considered a unique job compared to the way it originally was, and it's considered a past relevant work job, you're going to have to prove that you can't do that accommodated version of the job either. So to learn more about that, you want to maybe perhaps bump into that video. That was on the 20th. Also on the 20th was discussion about when DAA, drug addiction or alcoholism, comes into play, how it can get a person who is disabled denied, and when it can't. So if that issue is part of your lifestyle, you might want to check that out. On the 21st, we just went over when you have an 18-year-old child that was on SSI, or sorry, 17, and he turns 18, the challenge he will have to be able to continue SSI when it comes to reproving he remains disabled under the new set of rules he's under, which is the adult rules, and also getting a financial checkup to make sure he's still financially eligible for SSI, which may in fact be easier than it was when he was a child. But everyone's got a different situation, so check that out. On the 22nd, that was Friday, we did our fraud law review, and this was a big doozy with a Puerto Rican SSA staffer who did bad. Almost $2 million bad. So check that out if you're into those little reviews of fraudulent crimes going on with regard to usually the Social Security Administration. And in that case, it was an actual staffer, not a fraudster outside of the employment scheme there. Saturday, we did step 2 of the sequential evaluation process that the SSA uses to determine if we are disabled. The Saturday before that, we had step 1. And shortly before that, we had an overview of all 5 steps. So those should all be able to direct you to any other steps you might be interested in. I mean, obviously, I think you should know all 5 steps. So that was step 2. Step 3 will be out next Saturday. And that is it. So yeah, because today's the 24th, and this is coming out as a quick sum up. Anyway, I hope to see you next week. If you haven't had a chance to look at the memberships, please do. They will be supporting what's really an important mission. And if you click on the join button, there is a brief video that describes that a little bit. We have a longer video, but I don't think it's come out because I was hoping the short one would be more than enough. All right, guys, have a great week. I'll talk to you later. Bye. So you just listened to the week's roundup of all 7 days right behind us and what those video tips were. Are you concerned if you didn't necessarily catch the ones from the week prior to that? Don't worry, we're going to attach it right here. Have a great week, guys. Bye. Good morning and happy Sunday. It is the 17th. Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody. Okay, just doing the Social Security roundup for last week. Starting on March 11th and going through Saturday the 16th. Sound good? Okay, so on the 11th, that would be Monday, we had, we went over the rule change that occurred a while back that essentially weakened the weight that your treating provider would likely be getting in terms of his or her opinion on your condition, symptoms, limitations caused by your impairments, etc. When you have a Social Security disability or SSI claim before the SSA. It was a really huge rule. Practitioners, we all hated it. Still don't like it. Yeah, that was bad. That was like I want to say 16 or something like that. The next day, Tuesday, the 12th, this was about just a little discussion on what, in my opinion, a skilled appointed representative can and should be doing at a minimum on your case on initial and recon. I don't think it's true that one shouldn't be expected to do anything on initial and recon. I think there's plenty to do. Not the least of which is making the case stronger by giving sound advice so that if the person has to go to a hearing, which is very common, as you know, I'd say more common than not, that case is going to be all that much stronger. And there's a better chance of winning at hearing than if you didn't. So, some representatives might not like that I put it out there because I know some don't do these things, but it is what it is. Okay, so then on March 13th, which would be, what day did we say that was? Would that be Wednesday? This was pulled from a different platform. It was like an auto poll by YouTube. We didn't do it, but it's there. And it was something about the function report. And it had to do with sitting. People don't think they ever have limitations to sitting unless they have like a broken tailbone. And come to find out, they usually do if they're going to have, say, musculoskeletal issues, back problems, hip problems, knee problems even, or edema and swelling problems. So we go into that a little bit and what you need to be thinking about when you're doing your function report. And later on, of course, if you're going to be testifying. March 13th, this was like a vent share. If you have a representative, should the SSA staff, whether it's at the DDS or the field office, be calling you, or should they be calling your representative? You know, the one that you're going to end up paying should you prevail. Most of you probably know my opinion. Yes, it should all be going through the representative. That is why they were retained. And in fact, that is why there is a Social Security rule on that. And I'm pretty sure we shared it there. And again, I know some reps don't want to handle the calls and they'd rather the client do it, him or herself. Makes zero sense to me. Maybe that's because as a lawyer, you never have anyone talking to your client about the case, anyone involved in the case. It's just not how it works. 14th. Oh yeah, this was just a share that the SSA had put out, I think on the 7th of March, 2024, reiterating the overpayment options that people have when they have an alleged overpayment to the SSA of benefits that were improperly paid to them. There might even be a touch in the article itself about something they had alluded to a while ago about how they're going to try to improve the whole scenario with regard to overpayments, including preventing them by having quicker number access to other, catch them before the overpayments grow too far or prevent them altogether. So we'll see how that goes. Friday, of course, we had the Friday Fraud Law Review. This was a Washington fellow who had been defrauding for over 2 decades to the tune of over $800,000. It's pretty sad. And he engaged in identity theft of a veteran, a U.S. veteran. So, of course, that ticks off people like me. Okay, and then Saturday the 16th, that would be yesterday. We go over step 1 of the sequential evaluation process. It's the first of the 5 steps, and those will be coming out, I think, every Saturday. Yeah, and it was preceded by a quick rundown of those 5 steps in a different video, and I'm trying to think when that one went out. Yeah, that one went out on March 9th. So just every Saturday, the next one will come out, and there you have it. So feel free to take a look, see if you're really trying to figure out how does this even work, and what are the steps that the SSA is going to go through behind the scenes before they come to a decision on a case or a determination. And that kind of sequential evaluation process happens at every level, on initial, on reconsideration, and by the ALJ when he or she renders his decision. Okay, so there you have it. Last week's Social Security weekly roundup. I'll talk to you guys later. Hope everybody's doing well. We have a Pocono bug, I'm going to call it. We had one several years ago. My whole family went down for the count. All the problems you get with a stomach bug. And just this morning, my husband, wham, out of the blue. So now he's lying down, but I think his stomach is gone. It was crazy. I hope it doesn't run to the house like the last time, which was many years ago. My kids were much smaller, so that was always worrisome. You have to take care of them before you take care of yourself. Now everybody's a little older. I hope my mother doesn't get it. She's 80, so that wouldn't be fun either. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Be well. Have a great week.